Today's question is from someone who says, I'm straight, yet I feel aroused by women. I've never acted on it. I love my wife. Do I need to worry about this? Well, yeah. I mean, you reaching out to a stranger on the internet because of feelings you have that you struggling to understand. So maybe a little self-reflection is in order. Also, you're worried about acting on those urges with other women when you have a wife. So I'm sensing some kind of internal conflict here. Okay, let's jump in. It was a beautiful Saturday. Sunshine, laughter, photos, sunscreen. Tom wore his best at ever shirt proudly, camera swinging from his neck, already smiling like we were the perfect postcard family. Max, our son, darted ahead with a park map in hand, eager to hit every ride before lunch. I wore a yellow sundress, clinging just right, pretending not to try. My hair was half up, strands curling down my neck, already damp from the heat. On the outside, I looked put together. Inside, I was unraveling. The roller coaster towered in front of us, a beast of blue steel screaming into the sky. Max squealed and dragged Tom forward. I trailed behind, distracted and drowning in humidity. And then I saw her. She was hunched at the ride's control panel, bored and beautiful in a faded black polo. Her wrists were lightly inked, her movements precise. Her head was down, but my body reacted before I even saw her face. And when she looked up Blair, it was like time stopped. Hazel eyes, full lips, wild curls damp from the heat, and a nose ring that hadn't been there before. My breath caught. How could I forget her? The memory slammed into me. Showers, cars, pools, ... Her mouth between my legs. Her name was carved into the part of me I never let anyone else touch. Tom and Max were already strapping in. I followed, breathless, flushed, acutely aware that Blair's eyes were on me, watching. The ride jerked into motion, screams rising, but not from me. I was staring at her, and she was still staring at me. When it stopped, I stepped off in a haze. Not from adrenaline, from the fact that she was gone. She'd vanished. No trace near the controls, no smug lean like the way she used to lean in our kitchen, shirtless, staring, and something inside me cracked. Relief, maybe, or disappointment. I didn't know which terrified me more. You okay? Tom asked, adjusting his cap. Made a joke about his mother in a swimsuit. I couldn't even fake a laugh. He launched into a story I'd heard a dozen times, teacups, puking, his mom's fanny pack. Once, his voice used to charm me. Now just grated. I need the bathroom, I said, standing abruptly. He offered a shrug and a smirk. We'll grab ice cream. Try not to get lost. But I wasn't heading for a mirror. I was hunting her. Or maybe running from Tom, his looping stories, the way he kissed me like a habit. My sandals slapped the concrete as I passed families, churros, crying toddlers. I scanned every crowd, every dark curl, every black polo. Nothing. In the bathroom, I gripped the sink, splashing cold water over my flushed cheeks, trying to wake from the mess building inside me, but her name pulsed in my mind. Her hands, her mouth, that night, then footsteps. A faucet squeaked, and her voice, long time no see, Shannon. I turned slowly. She was there, same cocky smirk, same wicked eyes, same hands that once owned me. She asked how long I'd been in town. I stammered something useless, but my eyes were stuck on her fingers, those fingers that had once wrecked me behind a locked classroom door. She stepped closer. I stepped back, until my spine hit tile. Her voice was a whisper against my skin. I bet you've missed the taste of my lips, muffin. And then she kissed me slow, deep, devastating. My hands clung to her like gravity. I kissed back like drowning. She pulled away, breath hot. Who were they? The guy, the kid, my husband, my son. She didn't flinch. Just let her hand roam up my thigh. 1 second longer and I would have let her take me right there. But a woman walked in mouse ears and all paused, stared. Blair didn't blink, just turned and washed her hands like nothing happened. I adjusted my dress, heart pounding. Whispered, "We can't do this." But she didn't answer. I fled before she could. Lips still wet, legs still shaking. Back at the arcade, Max was beaming. Tom laughed like everything was fine, and that woman? She was watching me, then whispering to her friends. The judgment burned. I forced a smile, sat down, tried to look composed. But then Blair slid onto the bench beside me like sin wrapped in summer heat. "Meet me downstairs in 5, she whispered. "Or I'll come back. And you won't like what I do in front of all these people?" I gasped as her fingers brushed my thigh, slow and possessive. She smirked. "Don't play." Then she walked away. And I followed. The staircase was hidden behind a tower. Shadows thick, the world quieter there. Blair was waiting, leaning against a beam like she owned the dark. "What is this?" I asked. "I thought you hated me. After what happened." She stepped close, touched my waist, whispered, "Should I stop?" I didn't answer. I kissed her instead, hard, desperate, my hands under her shirt, her mouth at my neck. We crashed to the ground beneath the stairs, tangled, gasping, clinging like we'd never let go. And then, after everything, silence. I lay trembling, her fingers resting on my thigh. Tears hit before I could stop them. "How did we let this happen that first time?" Her voice was soft. It was wrong. I nodded, but it felt so right. I tried to pull myself together, wiping tears, smoothing my dress. But I was broken. My family ... never got closure. "It was a terrible thing we did," she said. And I whispered, "Yeah, it really was." The drive home was tense. Tom didn't speak much. Max hummed, headphones on. Eventually, Tom glanced at me. "You've been somewhere else all day. What's going on, Shannon?" I stared out the window. "Just a headache, right," he said. "A nap will fix everything." I smiled faintly, a lie, thin and fragile, but it worked. He didn't ask again. Days passed in a blur, cooking, pretending, existing. Then the news broke. Blair had gone to the police. She confessed. Everything. About her father. About what we did. The body was exactly where she said, beneath the rock. Beneath years of silence. The day they arrested me, Tom just stood there, frozen, like he didn't recognize me anymore. Max had been told to stay upstairs, but children always know. The cuffs were cold. The air colder, and all I could think was, I wish we never went to that amusement park.